So I'm very excited to introduce Mary Trotter with Crystal Cruises. Um, we have been big fans of the Crystal world for a really long time. They're still privately owned. They have been the entire 30 years of existence. And I think that really is a huge statement for them not to have ended up under one of the big umbrellas, because they can still be really creative and think outside of the box. And they work really, really great with us to make super special options available for our clients. And so, of course, with all the Virtuoso added amenities and all these kinds of things, we just find that they are amazing service, amazing value. I know I'm kind of preaching to the choir with quite a few of you, but thanks for joining us tonight. And Mary is going to update us on all the new things coming out and some really, really fun promotions for you. And then we'll get together and chat a little bit more at the end.
Great. Thanks, everybody, for letting me be a part of your evening and taking the time out. So I am, of course, the Strategic Business Development Manager for Crystal Cruises, and I'm super excited to share with you the product. I know most of you are pretty familiar with the product and what we have to offer, but I also want to go over some new offers that have come out even as recently as today, some really great offers that have come out. So let me just share a little bit about Crystal. Of course, I always want to say keep calm and cruise on. We will sail again. I'm a little sad because I was actually supposed to be on a Crystal sailing a few weeks ago, and we were going to go to Greece. So I'm a little sad, but it's okay. I'll get to go again. We're going to keep calm and we will cruise on. So we do have 4 different experiences with Crystal. 3 that are currently sailing, well, not currently, nothing is currently sailing, but 3 that are within our realm of things that once we do get to sail again are sailing, we'll start sailing again. And then we have our new expedition, which I'll give you some updates on our new expedition ship as well. So things that make Crystal different are what's included. So we are an all-inclusive luxury brand. On all of our ships, we have fine wine, champagnes, premium spirits are all included in your cruise. We have gratuities included, unlimited Wi-Fi across multiple devices. Our specialty restaurants are included as well. And then 24-hour room service. And when I talk about room service, I have been on ships before where room service is maybe a cheese and cracker plate and some sandwiches, maybe a burger and fries. It is a very full service room service menu, 24 hours a day. You can have in-suite dining. On our ocean ships, and I'll go through the different categories with each brand that include butlers, but we do have butlers included in many of our stateroom categories. And I'll talk about why would you use a butler? How is a butler useful? And then shore excursions. One thing to keep in mind, shore excursions are included. We have limited ones that are available complimentary through our river product. Yacht, you have excursions that are included, and on expedition, your shore excursions will be included as well. On ocean, they are not included, but you can certainly book that product through our destination program. And then we have our onboard daily activities. Those are all included as well. So as far as the Crystal experience, things that we do a little differently, we have our themed cruises. So you're going to see many of our cruises have a theme. One that I really like is when we do our Broadway themed cruises. My kids, I have 4 children, and they are all into musical theater. Well, I say they are. They used to be. My son is not so much into musical theater anymore. He is more of an actor and a musician, but the rest are all into musical theater. So I love the Broadway themed cruises we do. And then we have our enrichment series where we bring in renowned speakers and diplomats, athletes that could come in and speak to you. And those, again, are included in the cost of your voyage. And last but not least, we have our Crystal University at Sea. I know that some people think the last thing they want to do is learn and go to classes while you are at sea, but it really is a great opportunity that if there's something that you've been curious about and you're just not sure, hey, I know that there's this app that I can do something with my photos, but I really don't know how to use it. We probably have a class for that when you're on a Crystal cruise. So you can go and take an hour and learn, how to edit photos or For me, when I went on my last Crystal voyage back in December, I took an advanced Excel class. I know that sounds really crazy, but I never ever have the time, and I feel like I want to know more about Excel, and I never have the time. So I thought, why not take an hour when I was on a day at sea? So those are included, your classes are included as well. So we're going to first look at our ocean cruises. So first we have the Crystal Symphony. The Crystal Symphony is the smaller of our 2 ocean ships. And then we also have the Crystal Serenity. So the Crystal Serenity guest capacity is a little bit larger at 980 gross registered tons, or 68,000 registered tons. So keeping in mind, the one thing that is really great about both of these ships is they never feel crowded. We limit how many people can be in a stateroom. You know, a lot of different cruise lines out there, you're putting 4 and 5 people in a stateroom. Most of our staterooms will only accommodate 2 people. We do make exceptions where there are a few staterooms where we can put a 3rd person in the stateroom, but you don't see that happen a lot. And that's how we're able to give you so much greater space on these 2 ships. And this is just going over some amenities and services. So as I said, your select wine, champagne, spirits, your coffees, those are all going to be included on your ocean voyage. Unlimited internet is going to be included, your specialty restaurants, open dining. We don't do fixed dining times. So you can go and eat at any of the dining venues whenever you'd like. We do ask that you make a reservation for 2 of our restaurants, Prego and Umi Uma. Prego is our Italian restaurant, and then Umi Uma is our Chef Nobu restaurant. Both you can go one-time complimentary on each cruise, and we do ask that you make a reservation prior to sailing just to make sure that you're able to get in. Everything else you can just walk up whenever you'd like. We have a Brazilian steakhouse. We have our Silk Kitchen inspired restaurant. We have waterside, your room service. You have several options for dinner. And then, of course, I talked about your 24-hour in-suite dining, and you, of course, get your turn down, which is always nice to come back to in the evening. Complimentary laundry. So if you are on one of our longer voyages and you want to do some laundry, you can certainly do that. That is included. That's the self-serve laundry. Also, you know, when people say, why would I want to do laundry on vacation? Say you're out doing an excursion or it's your last day at sea and your swimsuit is wet and full of salt water from you've been at the beach. Maybe you want to go and wash that out before you travel home. You certainly can do that. That's complimentary. This is just a look at some new suites that we redesigned just a few years ago. These are our Seabreeze penthouse suites. They are a little bit different than our penthouse suites. So we have penthouse suites and we have our Seabreeze penthouse suites. Our Seabreeze penthouse suites, the way that they're a little bit different, this is a great option if you have like 2 couples traveling together or family traveling together, because the entrance, the door entrance, is kind of like a little foyer, and then there's an entrance to one stateroom, one suite, and then an entrance to the other. So it gives you kind of this feeling of almost like it's an extended suite. So you can see here, when it says suite, penthouse suite, that's where you're gonna see that you have this separate seating area and the separate TV, and then there's a TV in the bedroom area. When it just says Seabreeze penthouse or just penthouse, that would be just the bedroom area. There's not that separate room with the couch like you see here. All of our staterooms on board the ocean ships do have double sinks, which is a really, really great option when traveling together. There's a lot of space in the bathrooms. In the Seabreeze penthouse and penthouse suites, you're going to see that there's also a very large walk-in shower. This is the difference. I talked about that difference between the Seabreeze penthouse suite and the Seabreeze penthouse. You'll see here the couch is in the same room as the bed. So anything that is a penthouse, a Seabreeze penthouse, a Crystal suite, anything like that is going to come with butler service. So the key is penthouse or higher is where you're going to have that butler service included in your stay. And I know a lot of people say, why in the world would I need a butler? I never thought I needed a butler till the first time I had one, and use them for things like unpacking and packing. If you need to press a shirt, they can do that for you. If you need a shoe shine, they can take care of that for you. For me, the big key is the packing. I really hate packing up after vacation, at the end of vacation, and your butler can do that for you. So some great little added amenity there for you. This is our veranda stateroom. So you're going to see nice sized room. Again, most of these just sleep two, and then a nice sized veranda outside. And then our lowest room category is going to be our ocean view stateroom on our ocean ships. So just kind of touching on the restaurants that I talked about a little bit. Waterside is kind of our main dining room, open dining times. The menus are changing up at that restaurant. Then Umi Uma is the chef Nobuyaki Matsuhisa restaurant. It's the only seagoing restaurant that he has. It's Asian inspired. So good, it's so amazing. Prego is our Italian restaurant, and then the Silk Kitchen and Bar is our Chinese inspired restaurant. During the day, we have our marketplace, which has currently been a buffet. It will probably have to change up a little bit once we get back out to sea. I don't have all the details of that yet, but I think we're probably going to go more to a cafeteria serving style at the marketplace. And then in the evening, the marketplace turns into a Brazilian steakhouse. So again, all included in your voyage on an ocean cruise with Crystal. Here are some pictures of some of the restaurants. Silk Kitchen and Bar, we completely redid it just a few years ago. And then this is Marketplace, which turns into our Churrascaria in the evening. And then here's one of our lounges. This is the lounge on the Crystal Symphony. Great entertainment in the evening there. And then the Stardust Lounge is on the Crystal Serenity. The Stardust Lounge, actually one night during your voyage, turns into a supper club. That is by reservation. If that's something you're interested in doing, I highly suggest that you get that booked right away. There's no additional charge for it, but it is first come, first serve. So this is a great opportunity. But when it's not a supper club, it's just a place to lounge and relax and have drinks and listen to some great music in the evening. And of course, great entertainment in our Galaxy Lounge. If any of you have not seen it, we've been doing a Crystal at Home virtual cruise series. And every Friday, we do live from the Galaxy Lounge. So many of our performers on the Crystal Cruises Facebook page do performances for us. Sometimes it's things that they've kind of pre-recorded right before they got off the ships from the lounge, but a lot they're doing from their homes. So it's a great opportunity to see our entertainers in action. Additionally, on our Crystal at Home through the Crystal Cruises Facebook page, or if you go to Crystal at Home, if you just kind of Google search that, you can find it. We do share many of our recipes that are done at the restaurants. Every Sunday, one of our chefs, Chef John Ashton, he goes on Facebook Live and shares some great recipes and tips with you. All right, so moving on to our next product is Crystal River. And I know the Kerwins are a little sad right now because they were supposed to be on the Crystal River here soon, but hopefully we will get back to sailing soon and get you going again. So of course, with our Crystal River cruises, they are all suites, they are all balcony, and they're all inclusive. So you've got, of course, just like on our ocean ships, great service, great food. The accommodations are much larger than many of our competitors out cruising on the river. Very upscale and great entertainment. And then, of course, some shore excursions. We talked about some shore excursions being included on your river cruise. So as I mentioned, of course, all veranda suite ships, and I'll show you what that veranda looks like so that you get an idea of how that looks on a river cruise. Because as you can see from this picture, you don't see any verandas jutting out there. So I'll show you a little picture of that. So we do have 4 ships. We have the Bach, the Mahler, the Debussy, and the Ravel. We used to have 5, if anybody is very familiar with Crystal River cruises. We started sailing on the European rivers about 5 years ago, and we did have the Crystal Mozart. The Crystal Mozart has been retired from the Crystal brands. You may still see her out and around in the rivers of Europe, but she has been moved to the Asian market. So it is primarily focused on selling to the Asian market. So things that are included, very similar to our ocean ships. You have your wines, your champagne, spirits, coffees. open seating dining, your 24-hour in-suite dining, your Wi-Fi, prepaid gratuities, housekeeping, all of that. But the things that are a little bit different, it says 24-hour butler service, and that's because it is 24-hour butler service for every single room category. Just 106 guests on board our river cruises, so that's how we're able to do that. And then it's a 1 to 1.5 staff to guest ratio. So every 3 guests have 2 staff members taking care of them. And then we do have our complimentary shore excursions. There are quite a bit involved with those. And as I mentioned with your butler, just things that the butler can do for you, like packing and unpacking, pressing, bringing you canapes in the evening. This just really allows you to focus on enjoying your vacation. Here's an example of our Crystal Penthouse. This is going to be our highest room category on the river cruises. And if you'll notice over where that big window is, that is our balcony. So the top of that balcony, you push a button and it comes down and it creates that balcony for you. So that's what our river cruise balconies look like. Every single room category has that available. This is an example of our deluxe suites. So most of our suites on board our river cruises are going to be the deluxe suite. S1, S2, or S3 is kind of the name that we go by. But you can see kind of some pictures of what that looks like. Again, this is that window that turns into a balcony in a deluxe suite. And then again, just like on the ocean ships, double sinks and that walk-in shower. So lots of space on a river cruise. I think a lot of times I've talked to some people that have been on some other river cruises that weren't Crystal, and they just felt cramped and they felt like they couldn't move around. And you'll see that you have a lot of space on board a Crystal River cruise. And then our smallest suite is going to be our petite suite. Definitely you can have 2 guests in this room. It's great for solo travelers as well if they don't need as much space. But again, that same balcony window setup where the top comes down. Here's another view of that room. And dining. So dining is Michelin inspired and it's flexible open seating, plus you have 24-hour room service. So the great thing about our dining is that the dining is not served in banquet style. So banquet style, they get all the food ready and they have a bunch of dishes sitting in the back and they bring it out. On our river cruises, that's not done. That food is prepared when you order. So it's fresh and ready to go for you right when you order. You don't have to eat, at a set dining time. You don't have a 6:30 seating and you have to eat at that time. If you're out exploring and you want to come back and eat at 8 o'clock, that's totally fine. You don't have to have eating with strangers or anything like that. We have lots of tables for 2, so you're able to just eat just the 2 of you together if you'd like. We do have 3 restaurants on board all of our ships, and all of our food is fresh. So at the ports of call, you're going to see them. You'll may get to catch them in the act of when they're bringing that fresh food on board. They're bringing on fresh lobster, fresh vegetables. So nothing is frozen. Everything is very fresh and well done. With the in-suite dining, you can order from any of the restaurants for your in-suite dining. So say you're out exploring in the ports and you come back and you're exhausted and you just don't feel like going to one of the restaurants, that's totally fine. You can just order the in-suite dining and they'll bring it right to you. I just want to make you a little bit hungry here. Here's our waterside restaurants. You can see some examples there in our bistro. And the vintage room, great for wine tasting. Our shore excursions, as I mentioned, they are complimentary. We do have some that are complimentary. There are, on most Danube cruises, there are 70 plus shore excursions that are included. And I know a lot of people say, oh, well, they just want me to pay for the upgraded excursion. You certainly can upgrade to a more private excursion if you would like. But on our complimentary excursions, they are long excursions. I was looking at some a couple of weeks ago. They were 7.5, 8 hours long, some of them. So they are long, extensive excursions. We limit how many people are on the bus. We do not jam pack this bus full of people. And keep in mind there's Wi-Fi on the bus that you can use. Also, your gratuities for both your driver and your guides are included as well. Here's some examples of a couple of places that you can sit and lounge during the day or in the evening. You'll see tea served quite a bit here in the Palm Court. You can go and listen to great live entertainment in the evening. And then this is up on our Vista deck, our top deck. This is our Vista bar. And then once on every sailing, we do have what we call our Crystal Signature event. Now, the Crystal Signature events are changing a little bit this year. So up until this year, all of our signature events were done off of the ship. We will still do our Crystal Signature event on our Delightful Danube cruises at the Belvedere Castle. That will still happen. But outside of that event, we are going to bring our signature events to you on the ship, because what we were watching happen, a couple of things. Guests didn't want to travel long distances to go to a signature event. They've been out all day. They're ready to just do the signature event there on the ship. The other thing that happens too, it's Europe. Sometimes things happen. Someone decides that their own concert or wedding is going to take the place of whatever we have already scheduled. So we got bumped a few times. So what we've decided is just to make it easier for everyone, those Crystal Signature events, with the exception of the one on the Delightful Danube sailings, will be done on the ship. So we'll be bringing in some great music, an evening of music and culture for you on board. More pictures of just what that experience looks like on our river ships. Here's our Vista deck again with the sun loungers. And of course, a fitness center for your to stay fit while you're traveling, and a great spa. This is just a little overview of the rivers that we go on. So with our river cruises, we go on the Danube and the Rhine rivers primarily. We do go into the Moselle a little bit and the Main River. I know several people have asked me, will you be expanding to other rivers? Not anytime in the near future. I know 2022 river cruises came out. We're still in the same rivers. With just 4 ships, we like to keep it, you know, as we are right now, because we have such great ports of call. And we do change those ports of call up a little bit each year, but we do stay on those 4 rivers. And moving on to our yacht cruises, we have the Crystal Esprit. So the Crystal Esprit is just 62 guests. So great experience. The idea of the yacht is to make it feel like it's your own personal yacht. This actually was someone's own personal yacht. One of our executives at Crystal Cruises, this was his yacht, and they kind of converted it, and now it's sailing for all of you to go and sail on. This is a great little area, a living room area called the Cove. You'll see a lot of people hanging out here in the evening. You really kind of have the run of the ship. I've talked to several people. I haven't had a chance to go on the yacht yet because it's always full. But I've talked to several people that have been on the yacht on this spree, and they've talked about how you're able to do experiences that you can't do on like a large ocean ship. Things like going in and talking with the captain up on the bridge deck. So great opportunities to really get to know the staff. One of our dining venues, the Patio Cafe. Here's our yacht suite. So most of our suites, this is what they look like. You'll notice, again, there's not a balcony because it is a yacht. So we don't have big balconies sitting out. It truly is a yacht. The nice thing that we're really excited about with the yacht is that I don't know if all of you have seen this with everything that's happening with COVID-19. I know that there was an announcement that came out from the Seychelles that they were not going to allow anybody into their ports until 2022. It looks like we are going to be able to go ahead and go into the Seychelles in 2021. That was a big if, and it's because it's a yacht. It's not a big cruise ship. That was the situation. They didn't want to bring big cruise ships of people in. So because it's a small vessel and we're only bringing in 62 guests, we're going to be okay to go into the Seychelles, which is really exciting. And the one thing that is unique, of course, to the Crystal Esprit is that we do have our marina platform. So on the marina platform, you're going to have some complimentary kayaking, paddleboarding, jet skiing. You can do that right off the back of the Esprit. We also do have this little red thing you see right here in on the back. That is a 2-person submersible. We can use this at some sailings. Not all of them will allow us to use the 2-person sub. Not everybody wants us, you know, under the water with a little motorized vehicle underwater with the sub. So we can't use it at every port of call, but we use it when we can. Of course, you can also jump right off of this platform and just swim right there in the water. And then last but not least is our Crystal Endeavor. And the Crystal Endeavor is our very first polar class ship. This is our expedition cruise. She has not launched yet. She was supposed to come out in August, but due to COVID-19, we did have to stop working on her a few months ago. We have our own shipyard in Germany, and we did have to stop work, so she got a little bit delayed. We moved it to November. We have had a few little issues with ports of calls through the end of the year, so she has been delayed until the beginning of January. But we're fully expecting everything's good to go for January. It looks like everything's going to be good. So as I said, it's our first polar class ship. So she'll be going to Antarctica. Where you see that 199 in parentheses, the reason we put 199 is when we go to Antarctica, we will actually only have 199 guests. The reason why is when you go to Antarctica, in order to allow guests to go on land, you have to be less than 200 guests. So when we go to Antarctica, we will only have 199 guests on board so that all of our guests will be able to go onto land in Antarctica. Here's our palm court. So all those same places that you were seeing on our ocean and on our river, on our yacht, you're going to see those same places here on the expedition, on the Endeavor. This is our palm court. Prego, that's our Italian restaurant. So of course, Prego, one of our signature restaurants, will be on board. You're going to see Umi Uma, the Chef Nobu restaurant, will be there as well. And then our Crystal Cove, our Crystal Cove is much like our Starlight, Stardust Lounge that you're seeing on the Serenity and Symphony, just a place to rest and relax and hear some great music in the evening. Here's some images from our fitness center and our spa. This is what it's going to look like when it's complete. And our mudroom. So there are actually 2 mudrooms on board, one on each side of the ship. So when you are going on expedition cruise, of course, there are tons and tons of excursions to do. We have 2 to 3 expedition guides on board every single one of our expedition cruises. The reason that they're there is because the thing about an expedition is things can change and happen all the time. But if they see new opportunities for new excursions and things to do, they will update you and give the opportunity to do those new things or see those new things. So our mudroom is really essential for your boots, especially when you're going to be in cold regions like Antarctica. So whenever you are going on one of our cold cruises, you will be contacted to get your shoe size, and we'll have boots will be there when you arrive. There will also be a parka. We'll get your parka size as well. Parkas will also be there for you. The boots, of course, are rental. They'll stay here. They'll stay in the mudroom. Parkas you can choose to take home with you if you'd like. If you're not going someplace super cold, you'll get a windbreaker. So the mudroom is just a place to take off those old muddy shoes and just leave it there. You don't have to drag that back to your room. Idea of the Crystal Endeavor is that, yes, it's an expedition and it's adventure, but it's also still bringing the luxury of crystal to you as well. So you don't want to bring your muddy boots with you into your luxurious stateroom. So you'll see these on each side of the ship. Here's our solarium with our marketplace and pool and hot tub, lots of great places to relax. Some other areas that we'll have the captain's lounge, our expedition lounge. Yes, that does say helicopter lounge because there are actually 2 helicopter pads on board the Crystal Endeavor. There will actually be a helicopter on board the Crystal Endeavor as well. Now on our Crystal Endeavor, all the rooms are suites. They are all verandas. They all have butler service. The staff to guest ratio on this ship is 1 to 1. So every passenger has a staff member to take care of them. We do have, as I said, 100 suites. Most of them are deluxe suites, but we do have some other suite options as well. this gives you a little overview of a couple of them. This is our penthouse suite. You'll see how it has that little separate seating area there. And then our deluxe suite is what most of them are going to look like. That's the renderings there. Another picture of the deluxe suite. I'm ready to go. I want it to be done. I'm ready. All right, so that's it on the product. Now let me show you some things that have just come out today, some opportunities to book. So this just came out. This is our, we canceled our cruises in Canada and New England for October. So now we have a ship in October that needs to go somewhere. So we have cleared with all the ports. We are now going to be doing Western and Eastern Caribbean between Miami and San Juan from October 1st through November the 5th. With these sailings, the rates are going to start at $13.99 per guest. That's for an ocean view stateroom. Our verandas are going to be $15.99 per guest. Our penthouses are going to be $19.99 per guest. These are 7-day sailings. They are San Juan to Miami, Miami to San Juan. They alternate back and forth. You can choose to do a combination, do Miami round trip or San Juan, Miami round trip. So you'll be Miami to San Juan back to Miami. You would get a 10% savings when you do that combination. Also, keep in mind that you get reduced deposit of $100 per guest, and you get a shipboard credit of $125 per person. So these are the itineraries. You're going to see when you are leaving from Miami and going to San Juan. I feel like this is backwards. No, that's right. Okay, sorry about that. I had to make sure. Did they do my map right? It just came out. Miami to San Juan, you're going to leave from Miami. You're going to go to St. John and then to Antigua. You are going to overnight in St. Bart's. So this is a great itinerary. And then on to St. Martin. And then for the other dates, when you're San Juan to Miami, you're going to be doing Western Caribbean. You're going San Juan to Ocho Rios, Jamaica, Grand Cayman, Costa Maya, Mexico, and then back to Miami. So this is a really great opportunity. With these sailings, like I said, $100 per person deposit. Your final payments are not going to be due until 60 days before travel. What that also means is that you have until 60 days before travel to get everything back except for that deposit. The deposit you can actually still keep with Crystal and use for a future cruise. So this is a really, really great opportunity to get a really great stateroom on a Crystal ship. On all of these, because you see I don't have specific room categories. When you see $13.99 ocean view, $15.99 veranda, that is the best available suite for a veranda. So say you're looking at a veranda and you want that, you decide you want a veranda, but you want to be up as high as you can get in a veranda. You can go all the way up to our penthouse deck in a veranda as long as it's available at that $15.99 price. So it's $15.99 plus your port charges. Port charges are $322 a person. So this is a really great opportunity. Again, keep in mind your food, your drinks, your gratuities, your Wi-Fi, everything's included except your shore excursion. So this is a great opportunity that you'll want to talk to the agents about getting booked for you. Another opportunity, if you were interested in the river cruises that we talked about, we have our advanced purchase savings fair. So this is an opportunity from May until December 2021 to get a river cruise at about half the cost. Actually, there are many sailings where it is half the cost. I have looked at it myself. I actually had someone that had a booking on hold. They were getting ready to book, and then this offer came out, and it was half the price of what they had. So with the advanced purchase savings, every room category from our petite suite up to our deluxe suite is going to be $36.99 per person plus your port charges and taxes. This is for a 7-day river cruise. We have about 70 different sailings that are at this rate. The catch with this one is that it has to be fully paid within 7 days. So within 7 days, you do have to pay this off in full. That's how we're able to get that half price cost for you. Additionally, it is a non-refundable fare. but it can be, you can change the date. So you have until the end of 2020. Say you booked something in May and then you're getting, to Christmas time, you're like, you know what, I'm not sure if I want to go in May. Maybe you want to go in the Christmas markets for 2021. As long as it's still available, you can go ahead and move that money over to a later date if you would like. So really great offer with River. As I said, $36.99 per person, and it's half the price. I was looking with some people for June and July, and it was half the price of what they were paying for a lower room category. So this is a great offer. This is something we just put out. So we do go into Asia from November to April. And I know we had for our world cruise segments last year, things started happening with COVID-19. And so people had to cancel. People weren't sure if they wanted to cancel. We were changing itineraries, and it was just, people were very unsure what was going on. And we were just trying to constantly move around in ports. So we are offering this as a way for you to feel confident about traveling. So if you book on either one of our ocean ships for travel from November 2020 to April 2021, any of those sailings during that date on those two ships, then you have the opportunity, if we have to change our itineraries, you are able to get a full refund. So if more than 30% of the itinerary has been changed, you would get a full refund. If we change the embarkation or debarkation port, you also could get a full refund. That's your decision. So if you decide, you know what, I don't like this itinerary anymore, it completely changed, no problem, let your advisor know, and they'll get that canceled for you, and you would get a full refund. It's just a way for you to feel more confident in traveling for those particular destinations. And then our Crystal Assured Savings, this is going to end soon. I guess I should have mentioned the other two offers that I talked about for the Caribbean voyages, and for the, for the Caribbean voyage, it ends the end of July. The River offer was supposed to end in a few weeks at the end of June, but I think we're going to probably extend that into July. I think you might still have some opportunities there for the River offer. The Crystal Assured Savings Plan, this has been out for a while, and we are going to end this on June 30th. We extended it by a month, but it will end at the end of June. This is if you're not sure what you want to do yet, but you know you want to travel and you just want to get something, a deposit down, and so that you can save some money later. So on this one, you can choose to put $500 per person down. This $500 per person would ensure a 2.5% savings on your later cruise. This could be for a 2021, 2022, 2023 cruise. So you would put that $500 per person down, choose whatever voyage you want. You have until March 2021 to decide when you want to travel, how you want to apply that money, and then you would save 2.5%. That's on top of any other discounts that you have available to you. If you've been on Crystal before and you're a Crystal Society member, it would give you an additional savings for that as well. And then our last promotion, this also came out recently, is our new Easy Book program for 21, 22, and 23. This is for all of our experiences. We have reduced the deposit. So there's deposit right now. And again, I think this is it's supposed to end June 30th, but I think it's probably going to get extended till the end of July because it's been pretty popular. We have reduced our deposit. Typically, our deposit is 25% down. Our deposit is now 15% down. And if you do choose to cancel before your final payment date, before your cancellation penalties start, those admin fees that you would typically have, depending on what type of voyage you're doing, your admin fees would be waived, which means you would get that money back rather than it's sitting on your account to use for a future cruise. You would get the admin fees back. So this is a great opportunity to feel a little bit more confident about putting down your deposits for the next couple of years. All right, let's see if anybody has any questions. I know it was a lot of information. I think you guys are muted. Eric, you are muted.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, Mary. We did go ahead and unmute everyone, so if anyone does have any questions or comments, you can feel free to go ahead and share those with us now.
Anybody? Wow. I've got you. You're just shocked. You're shocked. There's so many deals. I mean, now is a great time to experience Crystal if you haven't, or if you have, now's a great opportunity, especially if you were impacted by some of our cancellations. You can take those future cruise credits and things that you might have and put them onto some of these great new offers that we have. So this is a good time to think about traveling. I know a lot of people are looking into 2021, and we have great offers for 2021 also. So it's a good time to go, and you know, we are doing everything that we need to do to get ready to make our guests feel safe and ready to go again. And honestly, I think it's interesting. We had a lot of world cruisers on the Crystal Serenity when COVID-19 began hitting in Asia. And we were changing itineraries, and we had a lot of people that were on board, and we said, would you like to get off at this port of call and go home? And they said, no, we don't want to get off the ship. We want to be here. So, you know, people felt very comfortable and safe, and that's a good thing. So we will travel again. We just keep waiting.
Well, it's good that you've got the smaller options, because those are obviously going to be the first ones that we have access to based on pretty much any of the ports of call, I think. And you can get real creative. Who knows, you might even bring it to Amelia Island, Florida.
Right? That would be nice.
So, but yes, I think beautiful presentations and really fun, innovative things you all are doing. And I guess you just shared all the information. Nobody has a single question.
Wow.
Mary,
Yeah.
Mary, we've sailed with the Regency, but not with Crystal. Do you have inside passage cruises to Alaska?
We don't for the next couple of years. In 2022, we will be going back to Alaska, but we did not for 2020, and we do not in 2021. But we will in 2022.
Okay, and your river cruises, I quickly looked at the map, but I didn't get all the details. Are you anywhere in the area of Brussels and
Yes.
Bruges and so forth?
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. That would we do some great ones, especially a lot of people like to go to do the tulips cruises with us. So yeah, those are definitely great destinations for us.
Tell Chef Ashton that we enjoyed that cooking show that he puts on every Sunday. I made the Venus schnitzel, and it came out really nice.
It's fabulous.
The cake, there's a cake this week.
Yeah. Did you see that blueberry?
Yes. Or was it last week? What is today?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I still have it though, whichever it is.
But it's a blueberry lemon cake. It looks so good. Yeah.
What time are the cruises? I mean, what time are the classes?
Yeah, so they're doing the you mean the virtual class thing?
Yeah, the virtual cooking classes.
Yes. It is at 3:00 on Sundays.
Okay.
I think
Great.
if there aren't any other questions, we will all get on to our beautiful evenings. But all the ladies at Wallace Pearson Travel are ready to answer any other questions you might have or go over any of the promotions a little bit more. I know a couple of us emailed some of this information out when Mary shared it with us this afternoon. But we're definitely excited to talk about the possibilities moving forward. And Crystal's wonderful enough to have already released dates through 2023. So yeah, the future is looking bright finally.
Yes, it is.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great evening.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.